Hey everybody, Neal here from Granja Tz'ikin. We're going to do a little garden tour today. So look, I'm going to start by talking about what we got over here, our pond. The pond is situated just above the garden. That's actually usually a good idea, placing ponds and water storages above gardens. Reason being, it means you can send the overflow from the pond. So this pond is fed by from a river line. We just have a hose in the river way up the hill, so the water comes in at pressure. We have these little guppies and koi fish and baby tilapia swimming around the pond. You might not be able to see them, but the water flows in here and then it just flows out here. This is a really simple design, but it's a great way to get some harmonics going. Look at that, the water flows out through this pipe, and then let's see where it goes. Boom, comes out through this wall and it flows down into this second pond, and then because everything in the garden is done on contour, it flows across this swale along the top of the garden, and it actually flows the whole way around the garden, keeping all the borders of the garden lush and green. Yeah, and some of the things we got growing here, one thing we try and do is everywhere there's a fence, we try and grow something useful on it. So this is a piloi bean, a local type of bean that can be harvested for green beans. These are just about to start flowering. You can see how bushy and healthy those are. We also grow a lot of passion vines and fruits on our fences. And then we can come down, we got some garden beds up here. But let's come down here. Yeah, let's come down here. We got our irrigation trench going across here with our overflow from the pond. We have like hundreds of pounds of food in these malanga or taro root plants that grow the whole way around the aquatic edge that goes in our garden. Those are a super nutritious, hardy root crop. You can see them here. Each one of these will grow into a sort of 4 or 5 pound root over the course of a year. Super easy to grow, super productive, and they also self-propagate. So you can just pull these up here by the roots and take out your little propagules. And then what else have we got going on here? We grow a lot of chives here, a lot of onions, chard does really well, kale does really well. Apio or celery, we put that into a lot of our food. This is an arugula patch. We also let a lot of things go to seed here. That's really important for sovereignty. So you can see after these arugula plants flower, these are all seed pods that we're about to harvest. Another type of kale here, onion bed. And so it's really nice to get some functional diversity growing in the garden. And what we also focus on a lot here are the planting of perennials, like leguminous tree species, to act as, this is a great one. This one is called tarai. It's a local tree it's leguminous, so it fixes nitrogen. It can be pruned back. It's a great forage for the goats, and it provides, which is important here in the tropics, it provides this kind of partial shade and windbreak, which is just really useful. And whenever it gets too much, we can just prune this back, keep it as firewood, and give the leaves to the goats as forage. They really enjoy it. What else have we got going on here? This is an arugula bed at the other stage of its life. These are absolutely delicious. We put these on our pizzas. This is a really fun one. Pepino Dulce, sweet cucumber. This is a native cucumber. These produce massive amounts of fruit. These are still a little bit young. We got baby bananas growing up here. Another great perennial. We got these papayas growing back in. Beets do really well here, although we're just transitioning out of beet season because we're just coming into rainy season. Here's another plant that I really love over here. See more irrigation swales here with taro growing in it, but then on the edge of the swales we want to keep these perennial borders, like thick walls of perennial plants. This is a great one, pigeon pea. This grows in so many different climates. It's a perennial bean species, so it's really a fast growing bush, fixes lots of nitrogen, and each one will give up to 20 pounds of dried beans a year. These are used, we put these a lot in our veggie burgers. Really amazing, super nutritious. You can also harvest them as green beans if you want. We've pollinated back our papayas, but they grow back every year. So we grow papayas here as a green mix. You can see this onion bed is halfway through being harvested, but onions is something we can never get enough of here. But what we're really farming here in a sense is the soil. When we started here we had kind of hard clay bedrock, but after 3 years of making lots and lots of compost and putting it into the beds, we've now got this nice black soil that's draining well and is very high in microorganisms. Got some more salad beds here. This is a great one here in the rainy season. New Zealand spinach. It's like a ground cover crop that just takes over really. It can be tricky. A lot of this stuff that I'm showing you now in a couple of weeks will be getting replaced by more heirloom kind of hardy stuff. These tree tomatoes do incredibly well. This is seed I got from my good friend Shad Goodsey in Atitlan Organics. Look at all these tomatoes. Those can be eaten as kind of sweet fruits or actually mixed with salt and garlic and cooked as a regular tomato. Those do incredibly well, so we'll be getting seed from that one actually. Got more bananas over here on the edge of the garden. It's a pretty amazing climate here, somewhere you can grow lettuce and kale and bananas all in the same garden. It's a pretty amazing climate to be in. So yeah, that's our garden. One more maybe thing to note is it's good to put gardens like this where you're going to be growing annuals in sunny spots. So really you can see here we get sun from early in the morning and it passes over our head. It's a south facing terrace, so we get full sun in this garden, and that's what allows us to get such high levels of production out of this garden. So that's a good thing relative location wise to remember. We're below the pond and in front of where the sun rises. Okay, thanks for watching guys. Stay tuned for more videos. We'll be going around looking at some projects, looking at some things we're building, and I hope you found this video interesting and informative.